Hello, welcome back to another edition of MANCINIMA. I hope you're all doing well. This is something a little bit special, something just a bit of spitballing. This is something that's been playing on my mind ever since I've seen the movie Halloween Ends, and since I posted my review of Halloween Ends, which you'll see in one of the little boxes at the end of this video. I'll link it in there for you. But before we get started, if I could do the usual, if you could just please give this video a thumbs up. If you don't like the video afterwards, you can take it down again, but if you can just give it the thumbs up for now so you don't forget at the end, that would be great. I appreciate that. If you can subscribe to this channel, I've got loads of different things on this channel you might be interested in. I've got Halloween, I've got film reviews, got dinosaurs, all kinds of different things. So there might be something on this channel that you might enjoy. So if you can subscribe, I greatly appreciate that. And if you can hit the notification bell, which will tell you when I've done a brand new video, I'd appreciate that too. Thank you very much. Right, so without further ado, let's get into what I've been thinking about, what I've been brewing in my head for these last few days since I saw Halloween Ends. So, as we know, Halloween Ends basically focuses on the story of Corey Cunningham. He's the main character in that movie, is the core character in that movie. And characters such as Laurie Strode, Alison and Michael Myers himself are sidelined, which is a great shame and has obviously upset a lot of people watching Halloween Ends. So it got me to thinking what I would do if I was tasked with closing out that chapter of the movie. Now, I haven't had time to go and do a great detailed kind of breakdown into an entire movie. I don't have an entire story for you. I'll just give you a few ideas of the direction that I might have taken it were they to offer me the opportunity. I know they won't, but if they were going to offer me the opportunity to close out this chapter building on what we've seen before. So what I would have started with is the very end of Halloween Kills. I would have gone back in time, date on the screen, October 31st, 2018, and we close out with Alison sat on the steps of the Myers house where she's being treated for her injuries after her confrontation with Michael. And she'd be just sitting there tending her wounds, and she saw her mother go up the stairs and into the Myers house, and everything's gone a little bit quiet. And she's turning around, she's looking up the stairs, and she's thinking, well, where is my mother? And she manages to get somebody to help her up the stairs, and we follow her slowly up, building the pace, building the suspense, if you like. And she walks around, turns into the room where her mother was, and she discovers her mother dead on the floor. Obviously lots of running up and trying to get her mother to come back to life, and that's not going to work. So lots of screaming. And as she screams, the police flood into the house, they come running into the house, and as they're all flooding into the house, you see Michael slip out of the back door and into the night, and he disappears. So what would happen next is there would be a phone call to Laurie in the hospital, and Laurie will be informed that Karen had been killed, and of course she has a breakdown. So over the course of the years since then, and remember that this took place in 2018, so we've got a 4-year gap if we're going to bring it back up to date like they did in Halloween Ends. There'll be a number of disturbances in Haddonfield. There'll be a number of people injured or maybe break-ins at houses, and every single time everybody flinches, everybody thinks, oh my god, Michael Myers is here, and they're all kind of looking around, the police are called out, thorough searches are done, and this seems to be a regular incident every time around Halloween, and it's getting on the police's nerves. They're coming out every time, and it's a bit of a cry wolf situation where nothing's really happening. So they're thinking, well, you know, maybe this is just people getting themselves out, and maybe after 4 years Michael has disappeared for good. He's disappeared off into the ether and never to be seen again. What we will see from this point of view is while the police are out doing that, Michael is actually out on Halloween night. He's managed to disguise himself, not in his usual outfit, but he's found himself a Halloween costume, and he's lurking in amongst the crowd, and he's just sitting there and he's watching people, and he's observing people, and he's watching patterns of how people behave. So when it comes to 2022, he comes back into Haddonfield and starts a reign of terror. And of course, initially, first of all, everybody thinks that it's pranksters or nothing going on, cry wolf in that situation, which enables Michael to work under the cover of darkness like he did in that first Halloween film. So I think that would be really great. What we could do if we did it that way is we could get some of that feeling back from that very first Halloween film where Michael could be stood out in plain sight, basically hiding behind trees, watching people saying they're seeing him, and then him disappearing as he usually does, and then the police not believing them, saying, yeah, every incident, every jump, every flinch we have is Michael Myers. So they're beginning to kind of ease off a little bit and thinking, no, it's not Michael Myers, it's just the public getting themselves at it. And this is great for Michael, because Michael can then come out on Halloween night in 2022 and start to basically break into people's houses, start to take people out, and nobody will respond to it until somebody does respond to it. And then they all go out looking for Michael Myers in the middle of the night, and he can pick out his final confrontation with Laurie Strode. Somehow he'll get into a final confrontation with Laurie Strode, and we can have a decent ending to the Halloween saga. Plus, it would look very much like the very first Halloween film. It'd be very much in mood, in suspense, in character building, in the way that the 1978 Halloween was. I just think that would be a lovely way to cap off the David Gordon Green trilogy if he'd have gone back for the mood of that 1978 film, pared everything down, got rid of all the threat of Michael so that nobody actually believes he's out there, and allow Michael to operate exactly in the same way that he did in 1978. He could also do some of the pranks that he did in 1978. He could dress bodies up, he could hide bodies, he could dig up gravestones and things like that. Just literally building upon that mood that we had in that original 1978 movie. And I think that would have been a great way to cap the saga off. And then, of course, Michael could be captured and Michael could be destroyed for good. I don't really agree with the way that they ended Halloween Ends. I'm not going to tell you what happens at the end of Halloween Ends, but I don't agree with the way that they ended. I think there could have been a better way to do it, a bit more symbolic of Halloween. Maybe something that would do with the way that the Druids used to burn people and things like that. Maybe something like that. Maybe burn Michael on it. I don't know. But anyway, that's just my ideas for that. I'd also like to give you my thoughts on the David Gordon Green saga as a whole, really. I was kind of excited about it when I heard about it. I think it was 2017 we heard that David Gordon Green was going to be making this, to be known as Halloween 2018, and that Jamie Lee Curtis was coming back, that John Carpenter was coming back, and obviously Nick Castle was going to be coming back as well in some degree as the Shape. So I was very, very excited about that. I thought, wow, they're getting all the original people back together. This must be something really special. So when that movie came out in 2018, I was actually quite disappointed. I was disappointed that Michael was violent, to a degree that he was very much like Rob Zombie's Michael Myers. I was disappointed there wasn't much in the way of stalking, there wasn't much in the way of suspense, there wasn't much in the way of setting up gags. I mean, there was one where he covered Alison in like a ghost sheet in her room, and Officer Hawkins was going to go up and take the ghost sheet off. But I wanted some more of that playfulness that we had in the original John Carpenter's Halloween, and we never got that in that 2018 movie. So I wasn't really that excited to be going into Kills, and then when we got Kills, it seemed a bit muddled. It seemed like a mishmash of, well, just loads of kills really and very little plot. I thought the sequence with, I can't remember the character's name, I think it was Tivoli or something. He was the little penguin lookalike. There was another one of the escaped patients that was on the bus who goes into the Haddonfield Hospital, and the whole mob thinks that he's Michael Myers, and they all kind of close down on him and chase him through the building, and end up with killing that character off, of course, once he falls from the building. I thought that was a bit of a waste of space in the middle of the movie. I thought the whole Evil Dies Tonight thing was irritating. It just really got under my skin and really annoyed me after a long time. And I thought that was kind of a plotless movie, a very middle of the road movie with just loads of kills and very little story. So that annoyed me as well. There were great characters that we've had from the past introduced. Again, it got me excited. It got me excited that Tommy Doyle was coming back. Got me excited that Sheriff Brackett was coming back. Got me excited that Lindsay Wallace was coming back. And Lindsay, they did great work with. They really did work on her character. But Tommy Doyle he became irritating. Sheriff Brackett, I'd love to have seen Sheriff Brackett like really delve into what the death of Annie meant to him, how it affected his life, how he couldn't face being in the police force any longer, that he became a security guard instead and still lived in Haddonfield, and what effect that would have had on Sheriff Brackett. I mean, we really could have carried that forward into Halloween Ends and then have him have some kind of a resolution with Michael as well, but they decided to kill him off at the end of Halloween Kills, and it was just a waste of a decent character, a really nice, decent character we saw through, obviously, Halloween 1978 and Halloween 1981, which is obviously now not part of the saga. And then, of course, we get to Halloween Ends, which we had Corey Cunningham as the main character. We mentioned it before in this video, I've mentioned it in my other review. He became the main character, all the other characters were sidelined, and Michael Myers himself didn't really even get any screen time in Halloween Ends, and he's apart from Laurie Strode, he's the main character we come to see these Halloween films about. So overall, I don't think that the David Gordon Green saga should be seen as the definitive Halloween storyline. I think, like the Daniel Craig Bond movies, I think you can take them as a little box set, you can put them to one side as a curio, you can watch them as one story and say, yeah, alright, that's one story. But I still believe that there's a strong, decent Halloween storyline out there somewhere which really would complement that original movie. I still like Halloween 2 1981 and Halloween H2O. I think that's the most complete saga, the most complete trilogy. I think that tells the story very well and it ends up very well. And if they'd have just left it at the end of Halloween H2O, that would have been absolutely perfect. That would have been my perfect Halloween trilogy, if you like. I understand that Michael's always going to be popular, there's always going to be more Michael Myers films, and I hope somewhere down the line that we can get a film that will complement that first Halloween movie, and I hope that we can link them all up together and we can sit and watch them all as one story and go, you know what, yeah, that's really good, that really does complement that first movie, and we wrap it up with a decent trilogy and, you know, keep it in a nice little box set together, and that will be the definitive Halloween saga. But anyway, let me know what you think. I mean, maybe you think that the Jamie Lloyd saga is the definitive Halloween saga, or maybe like you like the Halloween 2 and Halloween H2O. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for listening to this ramble. It is a bit rambling, but it's just thoughts that I wanted to get off my head, and just while the Halloween Ends movie is still fresh in my mind. So if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel, really does help this channel out, gets the awareness out there. And please hit the notification bell and please leave some comments. I mean, I'd love to interact with you. I really want to hear what you guys think about Halloween, what your favourite Halloween movie was, where you would have taken the last chapter in David Gordon Green's saga, what your Halloween Ends would have been. Where would you have taken the story? Please let me know. It'll be really interesting. Maybe we can have a bit of a to and fro about it. Maybe we can have a construct of a decent story between me and you. So thank you very much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you all again soon. Take care.